Imagine this. Today, over 1.6 billion people worldwide lack adequate housing. That's a staggering 1 in 5 individuals on this planet. It's a reality that's as shocking as it is heartbreaking. Diving deeper into this crisis, we find that the traditional methods of building homes are a significant part of the problem. The cost and time it takes to construct houses using age-old techniques are astronomical, making it almost impossible for a substantial number of people to afford a decent roof over their heads. Consider this. A conventional house construction can take anywhere from a few months to even a year. And let's not forget the financial burden. The average price of building a house can range from $70 to $200 per square foot, depending on the country and the type of construction. When you factor in the cost of land, permits, and unexpected expenses, the figure can be overwhelming for many. The situation is further exacerbated for individuals and families living in poverty-stricken areas or countries with high inflation rates. For them, the dream of owning a house seems light years away, a far-fetched idea that's beyond their reach. But the crisis goes beyond just the financial aspect. The time and resources consumed in traditional construction methods have a significant environmental impact. The construction industry is responsible for about 39% of all carbon emissions worldwide. That's a hefty price our planet is paying. Moreover, in times of natural disasters or conflict, the need for quick, affordable, and sustainable housing becomes even more critical. And yet, traditional construction methods often fail to meet these urgent needs. So the question becomes, how can we address these challenges? How can we ensure that every individual, every family, has a place they can call home without breaking the bank or harming our planet? So, what if there is a faster, more affordable solution to this crisis? The answer might lie in technology, specifically 3D printing. But more on that later. For now, let's delve deeper into the limitations and inefficiencies of traditional construction methods. Up next. Traditional construction methods have been around for centuries, but are they keeping up with our fast-paced, ever-growing population? Let's take a journey back in time, to when the first brick was laid and the first nail was hammered. Traditional construction methods have been the backbone of our civilization, providing shelter and safety to countless generations. These methods typically involve a step-by-step process, starting with the design phase, moving to site preparation, foundation construction, framing, installing windows and doors, electrical and plumbing work, and finally, interior and exterior finishing. This process, while tried and true, requires a considerable amount of time, sometimes stretching over several months or even years for larger projects. It also involves a plethora of resources, from raw materials like wood, concrete, and steel, to heavy machinery and equipment. And let's not forget the considerable manpower needed, with teams of architects, engineers, and construction workers all playing their part in bringing a structure to life. But what about the cost? Traditional construction methods can be a heavy burden on the wallet, with the average cost of building a house in the United States standing at roughly $200,000. This cost can skyrocket depending on the location, size, and complexity of the project. And then there's the environmental impact. Traditional construction methods can be heavy polluters, contributing to deforestation, air and water pollution, and significant energy consumption. In fact, the construction sector is responsible for nearly 40% of the world's total energy consumption and CO2 emissions. So we come to the realization that while traditional construction methods have served us well over the centuries, they are not without their drawbacks. They are time-consuming, resource-intensive, costly, and environmentally damaging. Clearly, traditional construction methods have their limitations. It's time we look towards more innovative solutions. 3D printing, it's not just for small objects anymore. Imagine an entire house, printed layer by layer in just a matter of days. Let's delve into the world of 3D printing technology. At its heart, 3D printing, also known as additive manufacturing, is a process of creating three-dimensional objects from a digital file. It's achieved by laying down successive layers of material until the object is formed. Each of these layers can be seen as a thinly sliced horizontal cross-section of the eventual object, much like the layers of an onion. But how does this apply to construction? Well, think of a giant 3D printer, large enough to construct walls, roofs, and floors. In place of ink, these printers use a concrete mixture, carefully calibrated for structural integrity and longevity. Layer by layer, this concrete is printed according to a digital blueprint, until a full-scale house rises from the ground. The benefits of 3D printed construction are manifold. First off, speed. Traditional construction methods can take months, even years, but a 3D printed house can be ready in a matter of days. Yes, you heard that right, days. The speed of construction isn't just a boon for the impatient homeowner, but it could be a game changer for disaster relief efforts and rapid housing solutions. Next up, cost effectiveness. The automation involved in 3D printing reduces labor costs significantly. Moreover, the precision of the process means less waste, making it a more sustainable choice. The printer only uses the exact amount of material needed, minimizing excess and reducing the environmental impact. And let's not forget the potential for creativity. With 3D printing, complex and intricate designs become much easier to realize, opening up a world of architectural possibilities that were previously limited by cost and feasibility constraints. 3D printed houses could revolutionize the construction industry and provide a solution to the global housing crisis. But how do they compare to traditional houses? Let's find out in our next segment. When you think of a 3D printed house, what comes to mind? A plastic toy-like structure? Think again. Let's start with durability. Traditional houses built with bricks and mortar have withstood the test of time, yet 3D printed houses are giving them a run for their money. Made from robust materials such as concrete or bioplastics, these houses are designed to resist extreme weather conditions. Moreover, the layered printing technique used in their construction results in structures that are often stronger than those built using traditional methods. Now let's talk about design flexibility. In traditional construction, complex designs often mean skyrocketing costs. However, 3D printing technology opens up a whole new world of possibilities. It allows architects to craft intricate designs at the touch of a button, from curved walls to ornate facades without any significant increase in cost. With 3D printing, the only limit is one's imagination. As for living comfort, 3D printed houses are not just about aesthetics and durability. They also offer incredible thermal insulation, thanks to the unique properties of the materials used and the precision of the building process. This means lower energy consumption and more comfortable living conditions, regardless of the weather. However, 3D printed houses aren't without their challenges. For instance, while the printing process is fast, finishing touches like installing windows, doors, and electrical systems can still take time. Plus, although the technology is becoming more accessible, it's not yet available everywhere. Another limitation is the current size restriction. While we're seeing some pretty impressive structures, we're not yet at the point where we can 3D print skyscrapers or large apartment complexes. But who knows what the future holds? In conclusion, 3D printed houses offer a compelling alternative to traditional housing. They promise durability, design flexibility, and living comfort, all while potentially reducing construction time and costs. As we can see, 3D printed houses not only compete with traditional houses, but also offer unique advantages. Could this be the future of construction? So, are 3D printed houses the solution to our global housing crisis? The potential is certainly there. In a world where technology is constantly evolving, the housing industry is no exception. With the advent of 3D printing technology, the possibilities for housing are expanding in ways we could have never imagined just a few years ago. Imagine a world where homes are not just built, but printed, layer by layer, in a matter of days or even hours. A world where housing is not only more affordable and accessible, but also more sustainable and customizable. But what does this mean for the future of housing? In the short term, 3D printing has the potential to revolutionize the construction industry. It can drastically reduce the time and cost associated with building a house, making homeownership a reality for more people than ever before. This could have a significant impact on the global housing crisis, potentially providing affordable housing solutions for millions of people around the world. In the long term, the implications of 3D printed houses go beyond affordability and accessibility. Imagine a world where every home is unique, customized to the needs and desires of its inhabitants. A world where homes are not just places to live, but expressions of individuality and creativity. Furthermore, 3D printing has the potential to be a more sustainable solution for housing. Printed houses can be designed to optimize energy efficiency, reducing the carbon footprint of our homes. They can also be built with recycled materials, further contributing to a more sustainable future. But like any technological advancement, 3D printed houses come with their own set of challenges. There are regulatory hurdles to overcome, and questions about durability and safety to answer. But with continued research and innovation, these challenges can be addressed. As we look to the future, 3D printed houses could be the key to solving our global housing crisis, transforming how we build and live in our homes.